What's up, baseball friends? Frank from Frank's Card Corner here. Today we're going to take a look at my 1989 Topps baseball set. This is the 10th set I collected as a kid back in 1989. Some pretty good cards in here. Other than that, it's just a basic set. Nothing really too exciting going on here. Let's take a look at the key cards. The Randy Johnson rookie card, Craig Biggio, and Gary Sheffield rookie cards are in the set, along with a bunch of Hall of Famers. 792 cards in the set. Let's take a look. I'm going to start off taking a look at the California Angels. I list all my teams alphabetically. You can freeze or pause the video at any given moment. Take a look at the cards if you want. I'm going to move the pages rather quickly just so the video doesn't drag on too long. As you see the Craig Biggio card right there in the lower center slot. Glenn Davis in the upper left. And there's Nolan Ryan in the middle. Moving on to the Oakland A's, there's Jose Canseco, coming off an MVP year, 40-40 man. There's Mark McGwire, bottom middle. A's, of course, will go on to win the World Series this year. On to the Toronto Blue Jays. A lot of good power hitters on this team. George Bell, Lloyd Moseby. There's Cecil Fielder in the upper right. Tony Fernandez. And on to the Atlanta Braves. Steve Avery, #1 draft pick, I believe. Had a lot of good years. There's Tom Glavine. Avery and Glavine were part of the big Braves staff going into the 90s. And on to the Milwaukee Brewers. Paul Molitor, Paul Molitor and Robin Yount on this team, as we just saw the Gary Sheffield rookie card. And on to the St. Louis Cardinals is Bob Horner, former Atlanta Brave. Terry Pendleton, Ozzie Smith, Todd Worrell, great rookie closer for them for a while. And on to the Chicago Cubs, as you see Andre Dawson. Cubs had some prospects back then, didn't pan out too well. You just saw the Ron Sandberg card there. Pretty clean, simple design, white borders. Pretty typical of the late 80s, very overproduced sets, but with a clean, simple design. And there's the Randy Johnson rookie card right there in the middle. One of the big cards in the set. Tim Raines, or Rock Raines, in the lower left corner there. That's when he changed his name. And there's Will Clark with the Giants in the upper left. Will Clark, a very good hitter for a number of years in the National League. There's Matt Williams, big power-hitting third baseman. Moving on to the Indians, we see Joe Carter, Corey Snyder. And on to the Seattle Mariners. This was actually Griffey's rookie year, but Griffey was in the traded set, not in the base set. His first base card with Topps was in 1990. And onto the New York Mets, we see Lenny Dykstra, Dwight Gooden. There's Greg Jeffries' rookie card up there. Jeffries was a very highly touted prospect with the Mets at this time, but had a good couple of years, but never panned out to really what they wanted him to. Moved on to Philadelphia, had some years with them, and just retired after that, I think. I think he was with the Royals as well. As we look at the Baltimore Orioles, Orioles had some nice players on this team. Cal Ripken Jr., of course. And there's Roberto Alomar's rookie card, top left, along with Sandy Alomar. Moving on to the Philadelphia Phillies. Some good hitters on this team. There's Ricky Jordan's rookie card. Ricky was a prospect for a while, as you see Lance Parrish there and Mike Schmidt. On to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Barry Bonds, Bobby Bonilla on this team. Andy Van Slyke, some good sluggers. I remember the Mets used to battle them out for the National League East a lot in the late 80s and early 90s. And on to the Texas Rangers, Boston Red Sox, Ellis Burks, Dwight Evans. A lot of big names on the Red Sox throughout the 80s, Roger Clemens. And moving on to the Cincinnati Reds, managed by Pete Rose. This would be Pete Rose's last card in a base top set. It's actually a player-manager card. Barry Larkin. Moving on to the Kansas City Royals. George Brett, Frank White, Brett Saberhagen, great pitcher for a number of years. And on to the Detroit Tigers. Of course, Jack Morris, a Hall of Famer. And great shortstop double play combination of Lou Whitaker and Alan Trammell. As we move on to the Minnesota Twins, Kent Herbeck, Kirby Puckett. Getting over to the Chicago White Sox, Robert Ventura's rookie card. There you see his draft pick card at the bottom. And on to the New York Yankees, there's Don Mattingly, very popular card back in the 80s. His cards were huge back then. And we finished with the All-Star set, which features the National League and American League All-Stars from 1988. I like the nice solid color backgrounds on there, followed by team leaders. Some record breakers, and turn back the clocks. Thanks for watching, everybody. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and check out my other videos.